Dr. Templeman, Happy New Year.
Great to be here in a new year.
Thank you for joining us today. Dr. Fred Templeman, board certified physician, years of experience in family practice, and you've been a friend of XANGO and talking about mangosteen and XANGO juice and Limitless and all of our phenomenal products. We are now going to talk to some of the great distributors and consumers in our XANGO markets in South Africa. So
wonderful.
A little greeting to them if you don't mind.
Oh, hey, welcome guys. We hear great stories about what's happening down there. I'm glad to be able to be with you.
We're happy to have you with us, Fred. I want to get right into some XANGO juice information.
Sure.
We have been now the forefront of mangosteen research for more than 12 years, making the product available on a worldwide basis where it had not been available before. Can you catch us up on some of the latest research on mangosteen and even specifically XANGO juice where possible?
Okay, well, let me say this to be able to make a legitimate link between what is happening in the mangosteen research area and what's happening in the XANGO area. I am absolutely convinced that there would not be the volume of research going on. At the present time, 21 countries have universities who have or are currently researching the mangosteen fruit. Now, that didn't happen before 2002, when the mangosteen company in the form of XANGO was able to popularize this outside of the markets where there was traditional medical applications. So without the commercialization of the XANGO product, we would not have anywhere near the same kind of impact as far as research is concerned, because the practical applications of the research are what drives these professors to try and find actives that they can apply to medicine.
Now, as we talk about some of that research, what are the things we've known about? Some research that has been ongoing,
Yeah.
and it may have even been leaked here or there or whispered. We're trying to be cautious not to give things away before the actual studies are published. What can you tell us about some of that research going on now?
Well, we did have a very major study that was done and funded by the company a number of years ago out of Los Angeles, and we were able to show at that point in time that there was an impact, particularly in the obese segment of the population that was looked at, and we were able to show its effect as an anti-inflammatory. Now, I'm convinced from what I know about botanicals and the medical effects of botanicals that there is nothing out there in the botanical market that even approaches the anti-inflammatory effect of the mangosteen. No question at all. And there's plenty of papers out there, more than 500 papers in total, but a large segment of those papers in universities have to do with the anti-inflammatory effect. So that's out there. Now, we've also got university-associated medical clinics that have done some studies, long-term studies. In other words, they've looked at patients for 2 years, and they're still working on getting the results of that. But my feeling is that those results can only be positive. If they'd been negative, we would have heard something by now. So what's happening is simply the normal process of getting this through. So those are the two studies that are referable to the mangosteen juice in the form of XANGO itself. Now, I'm not aware of any other companies with mangosteen products out there who have anything like that. So there's a differentiation. But secondly, the mangosteen is so multifactorial. I mean, there are 5 major categories of phytochemicals that are represented importantly in this fruit. The catechins, for example, and there are just literally thousands of papers about catechins in human health. They are represented as perhaps being more important quantitatively than the xanthones, which are the unique group of phytochemicals attributed only to the mangosteen. And they are out there being researched for their effects not only in anti-inflammation, not only in specific diseases such as cancer and other things where they may eventually be able to be used as a formal deal. Right now, it's certainly nothing but a suggestion. But the suggestions are strongly based in preclinical experiments. So while there is no ability yet to be able to talk about mangosteen use in cancer in a formal way, certainly the studies that lead to an eventual product that I believe will be turned into a drug are going to be coming out of this plant. And that makes it very much different than any of the other, quote, wonderful fruits, superfruits that have been out there and touted as having that kind of effect. The scientific community has just never picked up on them. because the substance isn't there.
Wonderful. You mentioned anti-inflammatory as one of the great characteristics of
Yes.
mangosteen specifically. Let's take this to a specific user level. If I am a consumer or a distributor in Johannesburg or Durban or Cape Town, any of the beautiful cities of South Africa that we know and love, if I live there and I'm consuming XANGO juice, what might an anti-inflammatory property display as in me? What might I notice? What should I look for?
Well, pain relief. When you look at medical terms, and here we're not talking about diseases because again, there is no indication to directly call it a disease. But when you look at medical conditions, anything that ends in itis in English is referable to inflammation. So, arthritis, all kinds of things, itis, gastritis, all kinds of things, itis. Those are the kinds of benefits that should be able to get. Now, many of these itis entities have, as an effect, pain. I mean, that's why non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are out there in the marketplace, across the counter, so that the general public can purchase these for what? Pain relief. How do they bring about pain relief? They decrease inflammation. Ergo, it isn't a leap to be able to see that if we have a very powerful natural product, which has the advantages of no side effects compared to drugs, why wouldn't we be getting similar effects with regard to the dropping of inflammation, the relief of pain, the actual differences that we could measure as people in our daily lives?
That is how you say it. Fred Templeman, thank you for that recap of current studies going on, ongoing research, and certainly the immediate benefits visible through mangosteen juice available by XANGO. Thank you very much. Any closing statements on XANGO juice you want to share?
Yeah, this is just the beginning.
Love it. Thanks, Fred Templeman.
Okay.